Meet Crew Podcast. We are the change we desire to see in this world. If you won't change, you have to be the change. We are looking for 3 more hosts to join our team. If you have a message for the world and would like to be a part of the hottest new podcast and media network rocking the podcast world right now, join Crew Podcast and Media Network. Looking for a little exposure? Allow IHEART Enterprises the opportunity to share your brand around the world. We will work with you to develop a package that fits your budget. Contact IHEART via email and schedule a consultation. Crewpodcast 2003@gmail.com. We are the change we desire to see.
Are you tired of the burden of past financial mistakes weighing you down? Look no further than BHG Credit Solutions, the industry leader in credit repair. We understand the challenges you face: charge-offs, late payments, bankruptcy, and those daunting student loans, but don't let them define your financial future. Here at BHG Credit Solutions, we've got your back. Our team of dedicated professionals specializes in turning credit adversity into opportunity. We'll work tirelessly to dispute inaccuracies, negotiate with creditors, and to develop personalized strategies tailored to your unique situation. Our proven track record speaks for itself. Countless satisfied clients have seen their credit scores soar.
I survived being shot point blank range with a sawed-off shotgun. Join me and share your story of survival. Only $33.33. Book drops in October.
Welcome. I want to welcome you guys to night 2, the Crew Podcast, episode number 107. Tonight you have the queen. Of course, I am sitting in. We do not have anyone in this slot. So tonight you have me. So y'all, we are all about providing content and being visible across these social media platforms and all of these platforms. We are the voice for so many people. We are the change that we desire to see in this world, and we provide an opportunity for others to do the same. So tonight, I have some special guests that are stopping by the studio. They're going to be on audio tonight, y'all. They're not going to actually be in the studio with me, but they will be on audio tonight. They are, if you see the flyer behind me, the Free Texas campaign, they are a part of the Free Texas campaign. Y'all, we are the change that we desire to see in this world. And the state of Texas have failed their citizens. They have failed those that are incarcerated. And I am honored to be able to be a voice for those that may not have a voice on the outside. So tonight, we're going to get an opportunity to meet 2 individuals that are a part of the Free Texas campaign. They are incarcerated in the state of Texas, and they're going to be sharing their stories, their perspectives, whatever it is that is laid on their heart tonight to share. I'm just being an outlet for them to be able to share on tonight. So tonight, we have, if you would, please state your name and tell the listeners just a little bit about you.
Well, tonight, my name is Casey Woodard. I'm currently incarcerated in the state of Texas. I'm originally from San Antonio, Texas. And I'm just happy to be able to give a voice to the change that we're trying to develop on the state of Texas, the prison system, and give a different perspective to society about how they feel and think about us.
Wow. So if you would, a lot of people like to know, if you would tell us a little bit about your journey and how did you end up incarcerated? What was your childhood like, and how did you end up in the space that you're in?
Well, I had a very good childhood. Loving mother. Let me rephrase that. My childhood was good as far as what my mother provided me. My mother, she basically was my father and my mother. My father was an abusive man. He abused my mother, and that kind of had an effect on my life in a sense of not having a father figure in my life. And society, where I grew up in the projects in San Antonio and the East Terrace, I was a part of what the influences that I was raised around. So in turn, that gave me a negative outlook on how not having a father was in my life, and looking to individuals that's trying to fill that void that was missing out of my life. And it was a journey. It was a journey. The individuals that I hung around, it influenced me to the point where I was angry. I was mad. I was missing something in my life. I didn't want the same thing that other people had. For as how you see individuals with the money and all that, all I was looking for is love. I was missing the love aspect in my life, and I wanted to try to fulfill it, but it didn't happen the way that I wanted. And I got caught up into the negativity of living life.
Wow. And that's usually what happened to a lot of us that get off track. We're looking for something that we feel like we're missing in our lives. And I definitely can relate to some of your situation. Me being a domestic violence survivor, and just going through a lot of things. Um, so you ended up incarcerated. Um, Now that you are incarcerated, um, what is your message for people? Those that are tuning in. What is your message, and what would you like for people to know about your situation right now? Whatever you want to share with that.
I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to be blunt about it, because I'm not ashamed of what happened to me. I'm a 3-time loser. That's what they said. I'm a habitual offender. I did not try to come back this third time. It happened. And being a 3-time offender, my past played a big part on me getting the sentence that I got. My first time that I got in trouble behind love, the girl that I was dating at the time, she had an abortion, and I didn't take it well. I didn't take it well at all. And what her mother told me during that incident of my first time, she called me to come to her house. She said, I'm not ready to be a grandmother, and my daughter's not going to be a mother. I made her get rid of it. And when she said that I made her get rid of it, it did something to me mentally. I wanted to be a better father than what my father was to me. I wanted to have a family. I had already taken the military test. I was getting ready to go into the military. I wanted to take care of the girl and my soon-to-be child. It was snatched. That whole experience was snatched away from me, and I didn't know how to deal with that loss. I did something stupid, and I accepted accountability and the blame for what I done. I got a gun. I went to her house, kicked the door in. Her mother came in and ran into her, and I told her, you did this to me. You made me do this. And I'm not ashamed of what I done, because I did it at that particular time, because I was hurt. I was hurt because I felt like she stole my future away. And I didn't know how to deal with that emotion being a young teen. It hurt me. Second time, I went to prison behind the influences that I've been with. I was hanging with a guy. He was into things, and the things they was into, it caused me to come to prison. They wanted me to snitch on them. I wouldn't tell. And just because I wasn't tell, I took my fall for my part that I had with the individual that I was associated with, because I feel like that had I not been with him, I wouldn't have been put in that situation. However, you know the loyalty of what they say, when you're in the game, you don't do no snitching. So I stepped apart and I took the heat for what happened. Third time I come to prison, I was I was working at the San Antonio International Airport. I successfully completed parole. I got a good job at the San Antonio International Airport and got married. The woman that I married, she was someone from my past. Found out that she was cheating on me. The guy that she was cheating on me with called me at my job, told me he was cheating on me with my wife, put sugar in the gas tank of my truck, and I did not know how to deal with that. I confronted the guy. He called me and talked to me about how he was not going to stop messing with her, how he was messing with her with her first husband, and he's not going to stop messing with him. So when I confront my wife about it, her daughter called her brother. Her brother was affiliated in the Crip gang. He come over there with two of his friends. He pulled a gun on me, and we got into an incident, and I shot him in his ring. And during the incident, I didn't know how to. I lost emotionally, psychologically. I tried to do suicide by cop, and I ended up with 50 years.
Wow.
That's where I'm at right now.
So what is your message?
It's a hard battle.
So what is your message for those that are listening this evening? What would you, if you could do it over again, what would be your message to the people on today?
I had a choice and decision on to walk away. However, I got confrontation with the incident. And sometimes you just got to follow the first instinct. But if they tell you to leave, leave. It's going to come into your mind because you know the right from wrong. But at the time, my emotions got into it, and I fell victim to my own self. I allowed my emotions to dictate my actions, and I chose, and I'm accountable for that right now, and I accept responsibility for it because I could have walked away, but I didn't. But like I say, that's a choice and decision that you make when you're doing the things that you do in order to get in trouble. Now, it's the other side of it, Miss Angela. Was the court system fair to me and going through that system? No, they wasn't. That's a whole different role right there. Because I can accept accountability for my faults. But when you come to try to take me to trial, y'all did everything that y'all could to get the conviction, and y'all cheat. They cheated me out of getting a fair representation in the courtroom. And that's the other side of the story when it comes to this Free Texas campaign. Because you don't know when you don't know how the DA, the judge, the court-appointed attorney, and the process that they do, and they're lined all together for one agenda, and that's to convict you. And they'll do whatever they can to cheat in those matters. But in the same token, I'm not saying that I'm innocent. I know my part in the matter, and I take accountability. But the court system is not fair. They corrupt. The San Antonio court system in Bexar County, Texas. They're not fair. They're not fair with the individuals, especially men of color. They're not.
And I can hear the remorse in your voice, and I can tell that you feel bad for what you've done, and you're sorry for what you've done. But we can't take that back, nor are we trying to take it back. But what would you like for people to know about this court system and how they can help assist? Because the Free Texas campaign, we're trying to bring awareness to what is going on in the state of Texas as far as the bias when it comes to the jury selection. I've been told that there have been so many cases where there have been all white juries or all Hispanic juries, and that's not fair because in the I think I forget the ruling, but it came out of Kentucky that there's not supposed to be a all one way jury, and that is a law. At least it is in Kentucky. So I want you to tell us, how can we help with your situation?
Well, when it comes to Texas and their judicial system, uh, I have to give you an example of what happened with me. The, I had an attorney that was assigned to me off of the wheel, and what they do is they have so many lawyers that they use and that they're assigned to certain cases that they have in the court system. Now, they assigned me this lawyer named Alberto Gutierrez. He was my attorney. I signed a contract with him. However, this other lawyer named Charles J. Buck came and took over my case. He told me that the lawyer told me he could give me 25 years. I'm sitting with 50 years right now. But this other lawyer said I can get you 25 years if you cop out to it. Well, I never had a chance to talk to this lawyer again. This other lawyer came to me to see me in the county jail, told me that he can get me that he told me that he was friends with the judge, that he was friends with the DAs. He taught the DAs their job. He used to be the assistant. That he used to be the head DA in the courtroom. And that other lawyer that I had, I'm not gonna never see him again. That he was $100,000 lawyer that I was getting for free. Come to say, I never seen my attorney again. But I didn't recognize him before. The lawyer he came to DAs. He said to fight my case when I went into the courtroom to ask them to have a public defender to represent me. And I didn't catch his name until a part of my trial. And he had this jacket on, and then the DA said, "Hey, Charles, come here." When she said that, I remember her saying this to a guy that was in the courtroom. "Hey, Charles, come here. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to start off with Mr. Woodard with 40 years, and I'm going to file a habitual on him." But this other DA told her, "You can't do that. His case is too old. They're over 24 years old. You can't use those cases anymore. I'm going to do it again." And she called his lawyer to get the advice. Come to find out, this was the same lawyer that they assigned to me during this courtroom. And through my investigation and doing finding the paperwork in my case, I found out that Charles J. Buck was not even assigned off of the wheel to represent me. So how is it this lawyer came over to take over my case? This other lawyer that I had, he didn't sign a motion for withdrawal to get off my case. And if he signed a motion to withdraw, which is according to the Article 10, 2024, I think it's 1024 or 1026, that he would have to go before the judge. They would have to tell him why he was getting off my case, if I wanted him to get off my case, but none of this was afforded to me. So between the judge and this district attorney, whom all are friends, and my attorney, that they're all friends together, somewhere in there something got confused, or it was like a railroad was getting laid during the incidents of my trial, and I had no say over it. They put a gag order in my trial, put a gag order on the courtroom from the media, because nobody from the public come in and sit in and watch this trial. This lawyer that they assigned to me didn't have not one witness to come testify on my behalf during my guilt and innocence stages. So there was nothing fair about it. One of the police officers in the incident, he was injured. So they let him be signed as an expert witness against me without having a real expert to say anything about the matter. He told me that, I asked him, "Well, what about getting an expert witness?" He said, "No, do you have money for an expert witness?" I said, "No, I don't have no money." He said, "The state doesn't either." So there's nothing fair about the court system. And then they used a conviction that I never committed. They used a conviction as an enhancement allegation on my trial that I never done. I was never convicted of the offense that they allege in indictment. And then they said I have nothing to say about it because the number of the conviction was right, but the actual title of what they used against me and how they stated it wasn't right. So that voids my indictment. But they still went on and convicted me on a legal enhancement allegation. So I'm sitting here under a legal enhancement allegation that was supposed to be void, and they never done anything that was fair on my behalf. And they still doing it. I'm still fighting my case. I'm still fighting everything about it.
Wow. How long have you been incarcerated now? How long have you been incarcerated now?
I've been incarcerated for 13 years now.
And you were given a 50-year sentence?
I was given a 50-year sentence, and I will have to do half of it, which is 25 years to be considered of parole. But had they not used that illegal enhancement allegation that they used, I would have 25 years. I'd have been up for parole already.
Wow.
I would have been up for parole, and all that part of the justice system, or me being able to plea bargain for the 25 years was snatched away from me when this other lawyer came and took over my case. And according to the bar association, he was not supposed to even interfere with me. From the other attorney that they had, he shouldn't even been able to talk to me, but he did it anyway. So I'm wondering, how is it that they allow something illegal to happen, then when you make a complaint about it, it seems like the court system all aligned to allow them to continue the wrongdoings that they do in the courtroom without really giving any kind of punishment to them. It's like they all went to the same schools, they all go to the same clubs, they all were part of the same operation, but they steady doing the same thing. And if you don't know anything about the legal system and you're not even aware of how the process go, they saying ignorance is 9/10 of the law. So if I don't understand how the legal process go, and I'm supposed to trust this attorney who was making background deals with the prosecutor in order to make sure that I'm convicted, because at that particular time I'm facing seven convictions. I'm facing 7 convictions. So, and they didn't use what they call is a violation of the Carver doctrine. Now, what they're supposed to be doing, they're supposed to elect what they want to try me on, but they took that process away from me. They did what you call a scattergun effect or a sawed-off shotgun effect. They put all those convictions on me, and then just made it to where the jury would have to decide which one. And that it's not fair to the jury. It wasn't fair to me. You took something away from me and didn't allow me the proper means to defend myself. And how am I going to defend myself if I got a lawyer who hired an investigator, who didn't do the job, who was combative on anything that I tried to do, who helped the jury, helped the DAs to do the jury charges, to help them to do everything against me. And then when I question him about it, he tell the bailiff, and the bailiff take me out in the back while they doing a little operation to try to make sure that I get convicted.
And this was this a paid lawyer? This was a paid lawyer, or this was a public defender?
It was a public defender.
Yeah, I always say that the public defenders, they supposed to be for the public, but I always say they work for the prosecutor too. That's what I always say. I always have said that they never. Their job is to get the conviction too, I believe, and it's to help them to get a conviction. I truly have believed that in every case that I've seen. And I've always told people, if you can afford a lawyer, do not get a public defender. But now that you're in this situation, is there? I hear you say you've been fighting for your case. You've been fighting since you've been behind bars for these last 12 years. Is there anything that people on the outside can do to try to help? Because I know that there's been a lot of people that I've come across in the state of Texas that's incarcerated that just don't have a voice on the outside. So when anytime you're incarcerated and they feel like you don't have a voice on the outside, they truly try to take advantage, and they will try to deny you of this and deny you of that. But how can people that may hear this, that are tuned in now and may hear this, because this will be shared across all of our social media platforms, all of our platforms that we are connected to, we're going to be sharing this. So would be your message to people that are free and can help and assist? What would you like to tell that person today that may hear this?
We need help. I need help. But I look at everyone that's been put in these type of situations. The public should not be able to be ostracized out of the venue of to seeing what the justice system is about. They should be able to be a part of that. They should be able to see that. And what they did to me, they blocked totally out of sense because they knew they was about to do me wrong. Now, what I need now, I need support. I need somebody to call the congressman, to call the court system, to let them know that these things are happening. Because right now, I don't understand how you can file writs and fight these cases, but your writs are not being heard properly because you don't have a lawyer to represent you. It's like a pro se litigant don't have any type of fight. They don't have any type of fight for themselves. And I just appreciate anyone that will look into my affairs. My name is Casey Woodard. My TDC number is 1683459. And I'm not ashamed about anybody looking up my case or see anything about me.
Can you repeat that again? Can you repeat that again for those that are tuned in or those that will hear this so they can have it clearly?
It's Casey Woodard with K, and my TDC number is 1683459. And I appreciate the opportunity that you have given me on your platform and to speak with everyone.
Well, I thank you for your willingness to share your story. I tell you, this is truly sad, and I thank those that are commenting. Thank you, Latanya. And I always say, hold on. God will make a way. He will make a way, no matter what it looked like in the natural to us. We have to understand that God is always working in behind the scene, and then sometimes we go through things because we have to be that voice so that we can expose what's going on. No, sometimes we don't want to be that one that go through it, but sometimes we have to be that one that go through it and then do it so that we can help somebody else, because this is not just happening to one, two, three people. I listen to these young men, y'all, and they talk about 25, 30, 40 people on their unit that is experiencing the same thing. So I am so like this thing just got me. So I am in the process along with these individuals, and y'all are going to hear them come on. They'll be coming on often, and some of you that follow me on my Monday morning motivational show, they have been coming on. Some of them have been coming on my Monday morning motivational show and sharing their stories and their journeys. You have individuals that have been incarcerated 22 years. You have individuals that's been incarcerated over 30 years. You have individuals that are they are juveniles when they go in, and you talking about stacking. They stack their charges, and you talking to individuals that have 150-year sentences and 99-year sentences and 60-year sentences. Corruption in the state of Texas, and you be amazed at what comes up when you Google corruption in the state of Texas. And I tell you, it breaks my heart. But I'm glad that God allowed me the opportunity to be in the right place at the right time. Being that on social media, um, someone reached out to me, connected with me, and I was able to connect with this particular prison. And being able to connect with these individuals inside this prison system, I tell you, it definitely changed some things that I'm doing um, on my platforms and what I want to see. When God dropped in my spirit that we have to be the change that we desire to see in this world. Yeah, we have to be the change. We can't sit by and see something going on and don't do nothing about it. We can't just be quiet no more. That season is over with. We can't do that. We have to learn that if God is giving you a gift and a talent, He giving you a gift and a talent to use it for the building of the kingdom. Y'all, we all have a purpose in this kingdom. And I tell you, I can't let Jeremiah 29:11 go, because he said in his word, he declared that he said, I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to give you hope in a future. Yeah, another gentleman that's going to be sharing. Yeah, if those that follow me hard, and support those various platforms that I am a part of, y'all probably have heard his voice. Y'all probably have seen his picture floating around. But his name is Mr. Cornell Drummer. Mr. Cornell, are you there, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. How you doing, ma'am?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great, ma'am. I'm doing great. Okay.
Well, I want you to briefly, because we normally try to keep the show about 30 to 45 minutes. So we are at the 30-minute mark. But this is very important. This is very important to me. This is one of the things that I have now become passionate about outside of the Crew podcast. This is one of the other things that I am very passionate about. And that is being a voice for those that are currently incarcerated in the state of Texas, because Texas has truly failed their citizens when it comes down to those that are incarcerated. And on a day-to-day basis, I deal with some of these people that have the power to change a lot of the stuff, but yet they keep their hands closed and their mouth closed and won't move. They laws that are in place, it's like they're not acting upon the laws that are in place. We're not trying to enact new laws, even though there's some new laws that need to be in place. We just want them to act on the laws that they already have in place. That's what some of us are wanting them to act on, what they already have in place. But Mr. Drummer, if you would please, share who you are, and I want you to share your part in the Free Texas campaign, if you would.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. Okay, my name is Cornell Drummer. I'm a Texas prison inmate of 33 years, ma'am. Okay, and now I have become, a part of an operation called the Free Texas Campaign. Texas Campaign operation, ma'am, is organized, ma'am, to be able to bring awareness and, attention to the corruption and the undercover madness that's going on here in the state of Texas. And I would like to say that the Free Texas Campaign is getting some results. And as of right now, we're trying to organize people to get involved, family members and, outside agencies and representatives and congress members and stuff like that, because the madness that's going on here in Texas, ma'am, is very bad, ma'am. And it's causing people to do long time on sentences that they shouldn't have to do for wrongful convictions and stuff like that. But yes, ma'am, Texas is very much out of control. And thanks to the Free Texas Campaign operation, ma'am, Texas is getting the attention that it deserves to get from this operation.
Wow. So what is your role in the Free Texas Campaign?
As of right now, ma'am, I'm trying to organize individual inmates institutionally, ma'am, to be able to come and be a part of this platform, ma'am, so that we can all be up under one accord, one umbrella, and to be able to address the issues about Texas itself, about mental health, about drug awareness, about, depression, of rehabilitation, reintegration, and to bring petitions for lawmakers to be able to, enact laws, not only to enact laws, but to be able to review the laws that are already passed in this state that can help other people, receive shorter sentences. Like the juvenile bill, the second look bill. These juveniles are doing too much time on a sentence. When they was a juvenile, they have no room for rehabilitation because our system don't recognize rehabilitation. These kids came in at age 12 years old and have to do 20, 30, 40 years of their lives without having any opportunity for freedom. And our state of Texas is not recognizing that. Okay, you got guys in here got 25, 35 years, and they having to do 18 to 20 years on a 25, 30-year sentence. This is unheard of. Our Texas Board of Parole is very sad because they do deny people parole up to 15 to 20 times for just a reason they can't change the nature of your offense. So with that being said, Free Texas Campaign is an operation right now, ma'am, that we're trying to bring awareness to the public about these type of issues that needs to be addressed by our lawmakers, ma'am.
So for those that are tuned in and those that are listening, what would be your message to them and how they could assist you guys?
Well, ma'am, first of all, ma'am, what we're trying to do, ma'am, is to get somebody's attention from the outside, ma'am, to support us and to be able to address our lawmakers, our state representatives, and our Texas senators. We've got Free Texas Campaign and Gmail. Okay, if anybody wants to support us, they can go to Free Texas Campaign and Gmail, and they can log on and they can read a few of our stories or whatever. That way, they can get familiar with what we're trying to address here in the state of Texas. And if possible, to get in touch with the crew podcast. Because she's been basically one of the ones who's been actually giving us the platform that we need out of the Free Texas Campaign to address these issues. But we appreciate you very much, ma'am, for what you have done with us, because we need that. We don't have these type of platforms down here to address these issues. So, with that being said, man, we hope that the public, get involved in what we're trying to do and to address our lawmakers and, see if they would be willing to, change laws or to enact the laws that they already have in place for us to give us some type of relief, man.
Well, I definitely thank you for stopping by and sharing with us. How can individuals support what you're doing? Mr. KC, he gave us his TDC number. Would you like to share your TDC number in case anyone would like to address the courts, address anybody, write letters, or do anything on your behalf? Would you like to give out your information as well?
Well, yes, ma'am. My TDC number is 619-316. 619-316. My name is Cornell Jackie Drummer. I've been incarcerated for 33 years for a murder case and a drug conviction, and they ran it consecutive. So with that, this is where I get 154 years at, because they ran it consecutive. Okay, I've been up for parole 3 times already and been denied parole 3 times after doing 28 years. I'm under what we call a low risk factor, but still the parole board is denying us parole, even under a low risk factor. So with that being said, all we have to do down here is depend on the parole board, for law enforcement, DAs and judges. So with that being said, ma'am, all I can do is hope to make parole, or hope to get some type of support from the outside to bring awareness to our cases. But my TDC number, ma'am, is 619-316. My name is Cornell Jackie Drummer.
Well, again, I thank you for stopping by and sharing with us on tonight. I want to thank those that have tuned in, those that have commented, those that have shared this. And if you would, please share this in your circle of influence. I tell you that it's definitely heartbreaking to me to see that this is taking place and that these people have been railroaded and they have been overly and wrongfully incarcerated, and the state of Texas is doing nothing about it. And they're just sitting with their mouth closed and their hands folded and acting like it's okay. But I am here to tell you and to serve the state of Texas notice to be on the lookout, because we are the change that we desire to see in this world, and we won't be quiet. Y'all, I thank you for tuning in on tonight. You have been tuned in to the Queen. I am Angela Thomas Smith. I am the visionary of the Crew Podcast, one of the 3 co-owners of the podcast. I am the A in HTA Enterprises. And again, I thank you guys for all of your support. Again, if this message have resonated to you in some way, I want you to share this in your circle of influence. And if you have any way that you can assist them, if you know a lawyer, if you know an activist, if you know someone that acts in this line and would be a support system to them, please refer them to them, or you can refer them to me and I can tell you how to get in contact with them. Again, I am one of the co-founders of the Free Texas campaign. I truly believe in what is taking place and what is going on. So I tell y'all, look forward to seeing a lot of noise being made by the Free Texas campaign, because y'all know I don't be quiet. So, hey, thank you guys for tuning in. I love you, and I thank you for all of your support on behalf of the Crew Podcast. Again, this is episode 107, and I am the queen of collaborations. I am Angela Thomas, and I thank you guys. Y'all have a great night.